Hey, my friend, this is Mike, and today I want to share with you what I shared with a group of leaders last week on a Zoom call as I met with them to talk about leading well through uncertainty. We are in this uncertain time that we're all in, and we're all moving forward into a future together, and what people are calling the new normal. But the new normal is not somewhere out there, it's happening right now. It's emerging as we live, moment to moment, day by day, week to week. So, as leaders, we show up in a particular way to lead well in the midst of this emerging story, to lead through this time of uncertainty, to tell this story together. We are co creating a new story together. And today, I want to share with you 3 ways leaders fail or why they struggle in uncertain times like this. They struggle to lead well because of certain behaviors that we want to avoid. So I'm going to share with you 3 behaviors to avoid as leaders in uncertain times like this. And then in the same breath, in the same way, I'm going to share with you what to do as leaders as well. So what not to do and what to do. Look, I spent 15 years in improv theater, learning it, performing it, still perform it to this very day, and teaching it to a number of improvisers. So I've learned a lot about improv and improv theater and what it takes to tell a story, co-create a story in the moment with other improvisers. Here's the bottom line. Improvisers step into uncertainty. They step into an uncertain moment where a story that's never been told needs to be told together. They co-create a story together based on a suggestion from the audience. But so how an improviser steps on stage and works with the people around them to co-create that new story is what we're talking about as we think about leaders. Look, we're in a story that's never been told too. We are co-creating a new normal that's never been. So we need to show up like improvisers as leaders to lead well in the midst of and through this time of uncertainty to co-create a new normal. So what I'm going to share with you is what improvisers need to avoid and why improvisers fail in uncertainty on stage. And it's the same thing for leaders. We are in this place where if we're not careful, will adopt the same behaviors, and it's going to short circuit our leadership, and it's going to cause the story to stumble as we move forward together. So the first behavior to avoid, why leaders fail and struggle during uncertain times, is we just simply try too hard. We try too hard. We overfunction. So for example, for an improviser will feel the pressure of the story. They'll feel the pressure of the moment. They'll feel the stress to make something happen. I got to tell the funniest thing right now. I got to be the biggest character ever. I have to add the best idea ever to the story. And the more they try really hard, and we see that, they try and try and try, and the more they try, the worse it gets. And the story starts to stumble because they're simply trying too hard. And as leaders, we're in a moment right now where the pressure is real, the stress is real, the fear is real, the uncertainty is real. And so we are in this place where we might feel like, man, I just got to come up with the best idea for my organization, my church, my business, my whatever that is, my family. I got to come up with that. I think really, really hard. I think and I think and I think. And the more we try and try and try, the worse it gets. So the best thing to do is to let go and enter the flow of the story that's emerging right now. So for improvisers, stop trying, let go, and get present. Get present to the story right now, in the reality right now, and get present with the people around them, co-creating the story with that person. And the same thing for leaders. We stop trying, let go, and get present. Because as I said before, the new normal is emerging day by day. And we stop trying so hard to come up with the best idea ever, and we simply pause for a moment. Connect with the people around us, because we are telling this story together. We enter the flow of this new normal that's emerging, and then we create something positive together because we've stopped trying so hard and we get present. The second thing, the way leaders fail and struggle during uncertain times, is we simply hesitate to act. Fear holds us back. So for an improviser, you have 2 improvisers on stage, for example. And you might have three people on the back of the stage waiting to enter a story that's emerging. So you have two improvisers acting, improvising a story that's emerging. An actor on the back line has an idea to enter the story with a character, with a piece of dialogue, with something to add to the story. And you'll see the improviser, and I've done it myself lots of times. The improviser will hesitate to act. They'll take a half step out or they step back. They take one step out fully, then they step back, and we all see it. And we've now pulled focus from the story that's being told to the improviser who's scared. And that happens a number of times. Fear incapacitates them. It causes doubt in their thoughts to maybe this is not the right time. I shouldn't add this or that. And leaders, we do the same thing. We have an idea. We have something we want to share. We have whatever that is, and we want to share it, but then maybe, no, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not. And what happens is when we hesitate, we pull back, we're missing potential parts of this story that's emerging. When we hesitate, we don't get to hear what you have to offer as a leader. We don't get to hear that part of that story. Look, we hesitate because we think we're going to mess the story up. We think we're going to short circuit the story. The story's going to stop if we add this because I'm just afraid if I no. The story, that idea that we have is not the end all and be all idea. We're not that brilliant. And if it's a bad idea, what's going to happen is the story's going to correct it. We're all going to correct it because we all share in this responsibility of this emerging story that's being told. And as leaders, we can trust our gut. And we can act courageously and say, here's what I think. I pulled up from my gut. And we say, here's my perspective. What do you guys think? Because this is not like falling from the heavens on iron tablets with the finger of God, and this idea shall never be modified. No, absolutely not. We have that idea that can be modified around the people, by the people around us, and because we're sharing in the responsibility of the story that's emerging. So stop hesitating and trust your gut. Stop doubting and just trust your gut and put it out there. This is what I think. What do you think? And we start adding pieces to this emergent story, and we start adding beauty to the story, and we start moving the story in a positive direction. We start moving this story of our business, of our organization, of whatever that is for us as leaders, into the new normal, because we've shared one more piece. So the last way leaders fail and struggle during times of uncertainty is they put the story on their shoulders and they go it alone. Look, an improviser on stage who has a predetermined idea of where the story that's emerging on stage, or if they have a preconceived idea, this is where the story is going to go. I'm in control of this story, and they wrest control from the other improvisers. The more they do that, the worse it gets for everybody, because it diminishes cooperation. It kills morale. It kills collaboration on stage. And we can't read their mind. We don't know what they're thinking. They have an idea of where the story is going, and they try and muscle the story to go that way because they're allowing the pressure. They're trying to control things they can't control. They can't control the emerging narrative. And as leaders, sometimes we feel like we have the ultimate responsibility for the story of this organization. That's on me. Look, I'm all for taking responsibility, appropriately so, but the ongoing new normal, this story that's never been told for our organization, your organization as a leader, whatever that organization is, it's not only on your shoulders. If you come in with a preconceived idea, this is where we need to go, follow me, I'm going to do all the work, and I'm putting the story on my shoulders, the new normal is on me, we're going to burn ourselves out, and we're going to kill morale and collaboration and cooperation, period. Bottom line. And people will stop offering ideas because you just have an idea of where you want to go. And why do they need to show up if you want to tell the story by yourself? And so if we want to if you want to tell this emerging narrative, this emerging new normal with other people, we need to give ourselves a pause. We need to put a pause button on ourselves and say, I might think I can see where the story is going, but let me take a step back and get connected with people. It's related to the first of those three about over functioning. We just simply get present. We get present with other people, and we say, okay, I'm going to add my piece, and that person's going to add their piece, and we're going to add their piece, and together we're starting to tell this story. And now together we have an idea of where this story is going. Together we have an idea of what the new normal is going to be, but it's not one person's responsibility to make this story happen. So here are the three things. One is we simply try too hard. Why do we struggle in times of uncertainty as leaders? We try way too hard. Second is we hesitate to ask. And third, we put the story on our shoulders. We go it alone. So what do we need to do? We need to stop, get present with the story, and that the new normal is emerging naturally with others. We pause, we take a deep breath, we courageously offer an idea to that emerging story, because this idea can be shaped for all of us, but it's an important piece to this emerging story. And lastly, we just simply refuse to go it alone. We are in this literally together. This new normal is being co-created together. So my friend, I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm just so glad I can share this with you. As I said, it's been my mission for many, many years to connect the dots between improv and then apply it to leadership. To connect dots between improv and leadership and apply the wisdom and insights from improv theater. And boy, there's not a better time that is right now in this time we're in this uncertain time as a new normal emerges. My friend, thank you so much. And my friend, remember, I am cheering you on. We are in this together.